What's up, guys? Rick Ginn here, and you're on Flip with Rick. And today we're talking about how to get your first 5 signed wholesale contracts. Now, before we get into it, do me a favor. Make sure you use I never know which way. This side, comment section. You got a question, put it in there. Make a friend. I don't want to break your heart, but we only talk about wholesaling here. So I don't have any other things to pitch you, sell you, or anything like that. I just want you, if you're just starting out wholesaling, you just found us, or you're a struggling wholesaler, or you're a seasoned pro like me at 23 years, and you just community around a like-minded community, you're in the right place. So this is the Flip with Rick channel, and I started this journey, 3 years ago? Let me make sure everybody can hear me, because test. Perfect. Let's fix that. There, that's a little bit better. Perfect. Got the right camera. Okay, awesome. So we're going to talk about wholesaling. And this one, I'm going to get inside your head because it's just got to be said. Me and Zach teach you every mechanical thing you need to know about wholesaling. But what I'm going to do is, if I only had an hour and a half, I'm going to cram the most important thing. And a lot of this is right up in here. Most of you guys are having conversations with yourself, and you're your own worst enemy. And I have a lot of experience in this. We want to talk about how do I execute and get 5 contracts done in wholesaling. And the first thing is we got to get you started. So if you're new to this channel, I want you to do me a favor. Here's what I need you to do. Let me put it up here. Actually, I just scroll it across the bottom. It's just easier. Scrolling below me right here, freewholesaling.com. It is the largest wholesaling school group. You guys voted that. You guys took action with it. And quite honestly, why wouldn't it be? Because we're the only ones that actually give you everything you need to know about wholesaling, step-by-step instructions on what to do. And you got to go out and take the action. Some of you go, well, I'm going to get somebody to hold my hand and stuff. Okay. Let me know how that works out. At the end of the day, you're still going to have to step up to the plate, and you're going to have to do it. You're going to have to fix your mindset, and you are going to have to make the first, second, third, and fourth move to become successful in wholesaling. And I promise you, if you try to skip it, you try to take the shortcut, this is going to be the worst case scenario for you. Now, the reason why I'm putting freewholesaling.com on the bottom, because I got the amount of content we have on there is insane. It's all done in chronological order. Everything's there, and it answers 98% of the questions you guys have on there. So if you don't have the patience to go through the course, I already know the outcome. Don't even worry about it. Here's the truth, guys. If 100 people go on my course, 5 to 7 will actually do some damage with it. And I know that. And I want you to know that going into it. The odds are already stacked against you, but mostly it's inside your head. We're going to break this whole thing apart. So if you want to get started in wholesaling, the best way to do it, freewholesaling.com. I cannot cover all this information in an hour and a half. You need more information than that. This is why we create it. This is why we go live 7 times in 1 week. I want you to wrap your head around that. No other wholesaler, no other influencer, nobody in that will do it. I'm always a wholesaler first. An influencer is just a fluke, meaning I'm just sharing the information with you, and I want you to take action on it. So use the comment section, make a friend, and for God's sakes, make sure you subscribe to this channel. It's free for God. And so if you want to get the most updated information, do that and go over to freewholesaling.com. So let's get the distractions out of the way and let's jump into this. So I love all the questions. Awesome. Okay, so let's jump into this. So first off, we've got to understand is everybody talks about needing resources in wholesaling. And resources are things you buy with your capital, your money, your dinero. And anybody can get resources. Anybody that has the means, you can borrow mom and dad's credit card. You can do this. This is how most people take advantage of new wholesalers. Just get the resources, buy my resources, buy my course, and I'll fix your problem. God, please, guys, wake up. You're actually going to have to do work. If I thought it was that easy, I would go ahead and take that step with you. But I already know in 23 years experience, you're actually going to have to do work. You're going to have to put yourself out there, and you're going to have to accept rejection. You're going to have to accept failure and move on with it. And I'm here to lean into you guys. I'm going to have a very tough conversation with you today. And if you need tissues, go get them now. Go get your Kleenex, whatever you need to do, because this conversation is overdue. So I did this like a year or two ago, and we're going to just get into it today. So you call me the David Goggins of wholesaling, whatever you want to do. Call me the Sean Strickland of wholesaling, but it's got to be said, and we got to do it. We got to find out how we can be successful in this. So if we all know we can get resources, and any fool can grab resources, take someone's credit card, buy that, it truly matters what you do with those resources and how you use these tools on how effective you're going to be in wholesaling. And this is known as your ability to be resourceful. So I meet a lot of people in this business that get resources. They buy coaching programs. They buy softwares. They buy everything. They buy, deal analyzers. Great. You know what? The tools won't hurt you. They're going to take money out of your pocketbook. The question is, the resourceful person is, what do you do with those tools? How do you use them and how do you leverage them to become a better wholesaler? In fact, if you don't learn how to become resourceful, here's the problem in our business. Everybody tells you just need resources and instruction. Okay, then why do we have such a high failure rate in wholesaling? Why? I'll tell you why. Because you guys aren't resourceful. And the one thing I've learned in wholesaling in my 23 years career is you have to be wildly resourceful. Rick, give me an example. Let me show you how this works. So resourcefulness works like this. I came from a company that had an HR department, had a finance department, had a marketing department, had a legal department, had an HR department. If you're a wholesaling, you are it. You are so used to your entire life going through school, going through your college, and or going through your corporate job and just handing it off to departments till somebody figures it out. And that's how a real business operates, a large business. But you're a wholesaler. I ain't got an HR department. I don't have a finance department. You are the marketing department. You are the sales department. You are the legal department. You are everything. And you don't know it all. And most of you just like lock up, like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I don't know if that's legal or not. Like, how hard is it to read a law? Like, you're smart enough, you're literate. Read it. You don't need everybody interpreting everything for you. And the problem is a lot of you want everything done for you. And I'm here to tell you, when you're meeting with a seller and they tell you all their problems, all the things they want to accomplish, and they're looking for you to solve the problem, this is where resourceful separates the children from the adults. I've seen people with every resource available and they can't figure out how to be resourceful. If you can't figure this part out, you're going to get your butt kicked in wholesaling. What do I mean? Sellers will press you and you're going to have to do instant answers. I look at resourceful, a good analogy for it is like a stand-up comic. You guys have seen comic. So the comics that have to rehearse everything and they have to go in a certain sequential, sometimes it hits. For the most part, it usually falls apart, especially when there's a heckler in the crowd. Your heckler is your seller, and you're going to have to adapt based on how they heckle you. How's that going to work? Do I need a lawyer? Hey, Rick, I got a higher offer. Hey, Rick, I need to talk to my realtor friend before I make a decision. Hey, Rick, is that the right deposit? All this stuff. And if you don't confidently return and overcome that objection, you're getting heckled and you're going to get booed off the stage. And it takes a lot of guts to do it. Now, how do you fix it? You're going to have to practice a lot. And I find if you don't learn how to be resourceful, here's another example of resourceful. Most of you are stuck in this right now. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. You guys go out to get your government list. Dynamite, best motivation. And then you get there and the lady says, I'm sorry, you'll have to meet with the city attorney and he's busy for the next 4 days. You can come back if you want, but I can't give you that information. So that's a hard no. What's your choice? You're trying to get the resource, but you have to apply the resourcefulness to make that work. And you're going to have to dance and you're going to have to talk and you're going to have to win them over just like you do a motivated seller. So you're going to have to find some sort of likeness to build rapport with them, to get some sort of connection with them. Maybe a picture of the family dog. Maybe there's a picture of their kids. Maybe there's grandkids, and you're going to have to connect. They're regular employees. They live in your community. You're going to have to work it. If you accept no and walk away, we need to have a serious talk. This video is for you, because a lot of you guys come in and think just rejection, like I'm just not used to it. I wake up to a rejection every day in wholesaling. I expect it. I actually embrace it and I look at it as a challenge. But some of you look at it as just, oh my God, I got rejected. I felt so exposed. Dude, get over yourself. And I'm here to tell you, you lack the ability to be resourceful. A good wholesaler has to think on their feet and solve problems as they present themselves. How do you do it? You get in a ton of repetition and you practice. If you don't want to get a ton of leads and you don't want to practice and get repetition in, you'll never make it in this business. Because a resourceful person, a lot of people think it's like this God-given gift given to them. It's not. Do you think Michael Jordan was born dribbling a basketball? He got cut from his high school team. He put in the reps, he put in the quantity, and what he did in private, he got rewarded in public for. So what you do in private and wholesaling, you'll be rewarded publicly when you become successful. And if you don't believe me, you're going to learn the hard way, because it's the truth of the business and you have to understand that. Which leads me to the next thing. The two biggest cures for wholesalers. Now, if you're a newbie, this is 100% true. If you're a struggling wholesaler, this is 100% true. And if you're an established wholesaler that just kind of lost your mojo, these are definitely true. And I'm speaking from wisdom and experience of doing this 23 years. And if you understand this, either take the advice or avoid it and suffer. Then there's no way around it. Number one, most wholesalers struggle from one simple thing. They lack a quantity of leads. So giving Grant Cardone credit for the 10X, great logo, great book if you want to go out and read it. Whatever lead you're thinking, multiply it by 10, because you are grossly underestimating what it takes to be successful in wholesaling. Rick, I have 100 leads. Get 1,000. You got 1,000, get 10,000. Why? Because in the beginning, you lack experience, you lack confidence, you really kind of lack the education. We're going to fix that for you. And you lack the resourcefulness in the beginning, like I talked about earlier. How do I overcome that? Dude, quantity. Quantity rules in wholesaling. I love quantity because it's how you learn this business. Do you know how many leads I've gone through in my 23 years? And keep in mind, the first 7 years, I did this all by myself. Yeah, I had some help. Yeah, it was foolish to do it that way, but honestly, it makes me who I am today. So I'm not going to change it. Part of the journey of wholesaling. But a lot of you want to skip that journey of wholesaling. I don't know. Like, I guess you guys are reading too many Tim Ferriss books. And by the way, I love Tim Ferriss, but the 4-hour work week is not designed for the average person, because you don't have the mindset for it. And that's what we're talking a little bit about today. So number one, you have to have a massive amount of quantity. If you don't have quantity, I already know the problem. I already know your disease. It means you're failing at wholesaling because you thought you could call 23 leads and hit it out of the park. You've got to be kidding me. You might have to 100 extra leads if you're thinking like that. And I don't want you to do that. The next one, just by doing quantity, you get in what we call repetition. This is what Michael Jordan, this is what Kobe Bryant really became famous for. You have to go in a dark mode and just practice. Now you practice in private, you get rewarded in public for it. Same thing in wholesaling. When somebody gives you an objection and you sit there and you just go, you've lost all credibility, you've lost trust, and they've really lost faith in you, and you've destroyed your confidence. So if you're going to wing it and do it like that, you're creating your own demise. So you have to get in the repetitions in wholesaling. How do I get repetitions? I have to have quantity. If I don't have quantity, I'm a dead man walking. Honestly, this is the one piece that's missing out of most people's programs. You just tell them the truth. You're going to have a massive quantity. Rick, how many do I need? I don't know. How many can you handle? The worst question you can ever ask The worst question you can ever ask is, how many phone calls do I have to make to get a wholesale deal? You're already done. You're cooked on that question. It's a terrible question. It means you have a limit. And if you hit that limit, you're done and out of wholesaling. Who cares? Who cares? If you guys go to freewholesaling.com, I give you the 6 of the most common objections. Jody asked right here, what are the most common objections you hear the most often? It's always fall in the same 6 categories. Why? I've been doing this 23 years, man. I don't even wince at an objection. The problem with objections, you have to understand and learn them, is you have to understand most people aren't telling you the truth when they give you the objection. It's a smokescreen. Let me give you an example. I want to think about it. Guys, put in the comments how you would solve and overcome the objection is, I want to think about your offer. Because you're already in trouble with that one. Because I think about it means nothing to me. Like, what the hell does that mean? I think about stuff all day long. We have hundreds of thousands of thoughts that run through our mind. How the hell do I overcome it? I think about it. It's a smokescreen. You have to identify the underlying issues on it. And remember, real estate is just a story of the human problem. You have to get behind the real estate. Why is your property vacant? How did it get in foreclosure? Asking it nicely without embarrassing people. That's what we do in wholesaling, and you have to understand it. So you got to understand is an objection, you have to be very crystal clear on what direction to go. Because let's face it, we can all look at the property, right? We look around, or you talk to them on the phone, you get pictures, you gather as much intel, everything you can. And then when you get there, everything's great. You know, the negotiations is kind of a wild child. And then so you go to close them and say, let's move forward. You want to go ahead and move ahead with the agreement, whatever, X amount of dollars. And they go like this. Let me think about it. Man, that's the worst one in my opinion. And that's one of my favorite ones to overcome. So I'm looking at some of your answers on this. So Chris is going to go with the takeaway. Interesting. The takeaway is great, but here's the problem is you have to find out what the underlying issue is before you even use a takeaway. Sometimes they don't trust you. Here's a good one. Sometimes they're not even the right seller. They're just not motivated enough and they're wasting your time. They're just using your offer. Oh my God, that one's happened a lot with me. But here's the takeaway. Cordell says, watching some of the guys talk to the sellers on YouTube can be intimidating. Some of them are knowledgeable about it all. Works can be intimidating. No, I can be mad. So Cordell, this whole video is for you. You're going to love it. I promise you. Because you're already talking yourself out of it. And you have to be 100% confident before you even do the training and wholesaling. So Jody says, what exactly are you thinking about? We know that there's a problem. If I can help you with a solution, you can make some intelligent decision. Be careful with the word intelligent because you could be insulting them by doing that. So what you have to do is you have to get behind that smoke screen. I'm not going to do a whole thing on objection. Go to freewholesaling.com. I promise you, I will come back. I think we'll do an entire one on objections and I'll bring you guys on and we'll just role play it. That's the best way to learn. Or maybe we take some live calls and do it that way. That's always the fun way to do it. But the thing is, listen, do I like to do live calls? No. But am I scared of it? No, I don't care. Like it's numb to me. And guess what? I'll look like an idiot on some of them. And you got to be okay with that because you're going to make mistakes when you do it. What I'm telling you is the think about a comment. You have to find what the underlying issue is. Because if you go with the takeaway or you go with, listen, I'm trying to help guide and lead you, you still didn't get behind the story. Remember, whoever gets to the truth in wholesaling will be the buyer of the property. If you don't get to the truth, you're solving problems with smoke screens. And humans are really bad about lying to people. And you got to find a way to let them not lie to you. And it's hard because most people, including most people watching this, including yourself, which we're going to go over today, we tell ourselves what we want to hear. And you ever been pressed so bad in a corner? That's what wholesaling is. They wait till they have to make a decision and we have to guide them. You're never going to force them to do it. So, David's getting better with this. What specifically do you want to think about? What is it that's made you uncomfortable, or what question did I not answer for you? You got to go into a deep probe on it, and you got to hold them to the fire when you do it. And a big part of this, great job, David. A big part of this is conditioning them. So it's so funny. I get people that make like, who kind of poke holes at like how we do conditioning. I did not create this on my own, guys. Like, do you think I did this on my own? I do a conditioning agreement, which is called framing, which is very common in sales. But the difference is I switch it from sales to guiding. I teach you can't make people sell you a house. And by doing upfront agreements, you can avoid the friend zone, the maybe zone, and let me think about it zone. That's one of the biggest cures. So a preemptive strike and getting to the truth of the underlying from, because you cannot do a rebuttal to let me think about it. Like nobody knows what to say. So prepare. If you know 50% of the people are already going to say, let me think about it, let's do a preconditioning statement, an agreement up front, hold them to their word. And then when it comes up, we understand we got to peel it back and get to the truth. This is what I'm talking about wholesaling. I could do this all day long, guys. Go to freewholesaling.com. You need people that actually will help you out and teach you this business instead of spending their entire energy trying to sell you. Because if you're not successful in wholesaling, I'm wasting my time with you. I don't have a course to sell you, so I just have to give you the truth. And sometimes, guys, you ready for this? The truth hurts. The question is how you respond to the truth is what determines what type of wholesaler you're going to be going forward. So we've talked about quantity and repetition. So I'm going to put up a statement. I'm going to smack you in the face with this. I will stake everything I have on this. Anyone who tells you this is a lie is a challenge. So funny. I'm sorry, I'm working on a big deal here. This is it. Take this to heart. If I only had to show you one slide, it would be this. Ready? Marketing is your number one skill set. Marketing is your number one skill set. Now, I put FAFO on there because I'm just being cute. Try to avoid this statement, and you're going to find out what's going to happen. You're going to be so dependent on a third party feeding you leads, and eventually, not only are they going to become your partner, they're going to reduce all the risk off of them. You're going to have to pay them for leads. You have no idea what kind of leads you got. You can't pick which market is. And before you know it, you're almost going to be giving away all your profit. If not, you're going to go upside down. And that's what happens when you don't master marketing and wholesaling. Guys, I'm telling you right now, all my money's been made from my ability to market directly to motivated sellers. Have I tried to outsource it? I have. It fails miserably almost every time I do it. If you do not have control on your marketing, meaning you do not have fixed cost. Everybody complains about direct mail. It's a fixed cost. It's 100% legal and it's scalable. Does it cost money? Yeah. Is it a newbie move? No, I wouldn't do it. But it works very well. I get a 5 times return on my money. Try that with PPL or PPC. I'll hold my breath. Anytime I've pushed someone with PPL, PPC, show me what percentage of your business, show me exactly what you spend on marketing, and show me your return on investment. I never hear back from them. Why is that? The problem is you can be a one-hit wonder in PPL. You could be a 2 and 3 hit wonder, but are you really going to get 500 deals from PPL? And if you do you have, if it's $300 to $500 a lead and you did 10 leads and say you just did 20 days, 20 times, let's do some math here. Let's see. Just say you did 10 leads a day for say 25 days. That's 250 times an average of 400. I mean, these are insane numbers, guys. So if let's just say you did 200 leads and let's just say it was $350. That's 70 grand. Like that's, you're never going to be able to feed your pipeline with that. You're going to have to so it's easy to do it one day, maybe 2, maybe 3, 30 days. How can you afford that? Because you have to pay market price on what it gets bid up to. What I'm telling you is you have to control. Well, aren't direct mail, you outsourcing it? It's my list. I pick my market. I set parameters and filters so I get it and I do it from there. I like bandit signs. I like anything that's creative that you can control. And I'm all about, like, if your partner is a PPC specialist, go for it. That's my exception. But understand you're going to need an intense amount of capital, and most of you don't have it. So if you don't understand that marketing is your greatest skill set, skip it. Come back to me in 3 months and tell me how great you're doing. And don't give me the 1 or 2 deals you hit a home run on. You are not in control. Remember, whoever derives the lead wins. If I'm willing, if I'm willing to split a deal with you 50-50 and you originate the lead, you're already entitled to 50% of the profit with no money out of your pocket. That's all you need to know about wholesaling. So why would you give up the most important skill set in wholesaling? Because somebody said I could just skip wholesaling and be so much easier. Great. Awesome. Remember, people typically through sell your home fast is an expensive key phrase. Most PPC, PPL companies are struggling. A lot of them are going back to cold calling, even direct mail. Why? Because I know it, because I have relationships with all these companies. I just think they bid themselves out of the market. But keep in mind, it's terribly expensive to do research. What do you think AI is going to do PPL and PPC? Bye. You're not going to be able to manipulate AI to your favor. So at least SEO, you could 6 months, 12 months have an impact. Not anymore. I think AI is really going to create havoc in that. But we'll have to see. I don't know exactly. But guys, listen to me. Figure out how to market, or you're going to die as a wholesaler. Because if you think you can pay people like this, you're going to give up almost all your profits, especially in the beginning. You're definitely going to go upside down. And God forbid you throw a coach on top of the wholesaling. Why you do that's beyond me, because I give you the information. You're going to go majorly upside down in this business. And I don't want anyone to do that. And if you understand that, this is why I hang myself. FAFO, you know exactly what I mean. If you think you're going to do opposite, go for it. Listen to me very clearly. I've never seen someone survive wholesaling that outsourced their marketing as their sole strategy. You can pepper it. I got no problem with that. But make sure you know what your return on your investment is, because if you can't, you're going to have a problem with it. So we have to understand that. Let's keep moving here, because we got to figure out how to get 5 contracts. So the next thing is, once you understand that, I've taught you the 2 key things all wholesalers need. I basically taught you that you have to do marketing. You have to have quantity and repetition. If we understand that, then let me ask you this. What the hell is a motivated seller? I saw somebody say the other day, there's no such thing as a motivated seller anymore. I go, then don't wholesale. That's all we look for. Now, anybody can find a seller of a piece of real estate. God knows there's enough in the United States. You could have anybody do. I have a 4-year-old child do that. And to be honest with you, you hang around wholesaling long enough, someone will sell you a program. They'll show you an endless possibility of motivated sellers. So put in the comments, you tell me, what do you think a motivated seller is? Because in 2025, I think we've lost the clarity on what people think a motivated seller is. So Zan says, there's so many motivated sellers. It's crazy. Everybody says they're motivated. Mark says, hey, it's someone who needs to sell. And I agree with all these statements, but oh, that's a good one. See, Nicole's getting down to the root of it. Someone who needs to move must sell. Divorce, tax lien, distressed properties. They have urgency. It's crazy, guys. Different types of motivated sellers. So I agree. I agree with all this. Different types of motivated sellers. Here's the key ingredient. And you have to have crystal clarity when you're wholesaling. Otherwise, in my opinion, you're wasting your time. And if you don't have crystal clear direction in wholesaling, you flounder. And what do floundering people do? They get really busy. Busy means someone's going to sell you a crap load of courses because it sounds good, but it's never going to cure the problem. How many people do you know in your life that are busy? The minute someone tells me, I'm just so busy. I'm so busy, Rick. I don't even know what to. Here's my favorite. I'm so busy. I didn't even have time to sit down. Really? Let's analyze that. You don't have time to sit down? Hmm. Is your day shorter than mine? No. Busy people mean they have no direction. They're just trying to do everything and touch everything. And trust me, I've been a busy person. It soothes your soul to be busy, but it means you're avoiding what you know you have to do. And that's the problem with busy people. If you want to get down to what a motivated seller is, it's simple, guys. It's real simple. And the more you're clear on that, the better off you'll do. Dude, someone's paying attention to me. Someone who needs to sell, not wants to sell. Ugh, we could have just stopped there. People who want to sell are always undecided. They haven't come around to making a decision. So people who want to sell, their decision is based on the offer price and the offer price only, and it's usually sky high. This is why I love when people pay attention to what I say. If you understand this one fundamental thing about what a true motivated seller is, it will save you so much energy. So keep in mind, everybody on planet Earth, at least in the United States, wants to sell their house. No disagreement there. But we have to understand a select few need to sell. Probate, foreclosure, tax delinquency, code violations. The list goes on and on. Go to freewholesaling.com. I'll show you how to do it. Dude, a thumbs up to I've seen this logo before. Look, he's marketing his house. He's doing everything right. And he's dead set on this. So here's the cheat sheet. I like to simplify this business. I have dialed this in over my 23 years and just motivated seller. So need to sell is a big part of it. And I ask myself whenever I'm struggling, when someone wants to think about it, do I have somebody who wants to sell or need to sell? Did they slip through my qualification cracks? Did they lie to me? It's okay. People lie. We know that. People lie all the time. One lie leads to another. If you don't check those lies, you wind up giving up all your time and you're just a busy wholesaler. So simple little acronym, ODN. It's not a computer program. It's none of that crap. It's simple. It's an acronym I've come up with wholesaling. This is where you set your wholesaling compass. Now, this is the ideal situation. Do you guys hear me? Not every seller is going to meet these boxes perfectly, but if I had to build an avatar, a animated graphic character of who I'm targeting, ODN is the best type of seller you can find. Now, my rule is you have to get 2 out of the 3 letters to have a shot. 1 out of the 3 is usually a waste of time. Let me go through it. First one, O is for off market. Why? Because if it's on market, meaning it's on Zillow for a public sale, if it's on MLS with a realtor, they're already telling you they want to sell. And unless there's something clearly written in the notes or the description that says need to sell, even if they need to sell, it's a dilapidated house, the amount of bidding is it's going to come down to price 9 times out of 10. We all agree with that, right? So I thought I could convince everybody when I was a young man to sell me their house. And I find out quickly, I target people who need to sell their house. Now, off market is key because when they put it on market, if it doesn't sell, it usually means it was way overpriced or it has a lot of underlying conditions with it, meaning needing repairs and stuff like that. And those are the people I don't, usually if it's going to go on market, they usually need at least the minimum 3 months, most likely 6 months, and sometimes a year. You do not want to be the first person to reach out to these people. I don't care what courses you guys buy in. You can buy the theories all day long. Oh my God, why not? 95% of all real estate deals go through realtors. Yeah, because 95% of the people can afford to do what we call want to sell our house. And when you want to sell your house, if you give me this price, I'll sell you the house. There's no story. I don't want to know you. That's it. And honestly, we all want that deep down inside. But this little thing called life happens, and crap happens to us all the time. People pass away. People get fired. People have to move. Sometimes you have to take care of a loved one. And this is how life works. Nobody plans on needing to sell their house, but life happens and we have to account for it. That's where us wholesalers come in. Is everybody agree with me on that? Do you understand that? Perfect. Now, off market, what's the D for? Direct to seller. Let me repeat that. Direct to seller. Why? How are you going to form a relationship if you can't talk to the seller? Remember, if you don't have a direct line of communication, again, Jordan Belfort taught this in the old school. Direct line communication. It's how you get to the truth the fastest, to find out if there's an underlying problem, to get to the story, to actually present them a solution to fix it. Go through a realtor. Guess what? Guess what? The only thing the realtor is interested in 9 times out of 10, price. That's it. And they have no skin in the game, and they can just sit around and wait forever. They could have I've seen deals on MLS where it is a highly motivated seller. They don't know any other way to sell a property, and they give it to the realtor, and the realtor still hides behind the price, trying to protect their client. And all the client goes, listen, just bring me an offer. I want to get it sold. And I've seen realtors where they don't even present the offer. This is why I don't waste my time with realtors when stuff goes on the market. Now, if I'm direct to seller, I can usually get the truth and I can get the story behind it. It saves me time. I get the best price, and I do not stay busy. This is the key. The last one, you guys already know it as he showed it to us, needs to sell. Everybody wants to sell. A select few need to sell. You have to spend all your time marketing and wholesaling to find the ones that need to sell. Is it perfect? No. But if I have ODN, if I can get someone that's off market, I'm direct to the seller that needs to sell, I have a great shot, meaning percentage, at making that wholesale deal successful, as long as I guide the seller to a path where they can achieve what their goals are. My goals are to help the seller. And if I achieve the seller's goal, I will achieve my own goal. And that's my whole point of wholesaling. But guys, I don't know why you guys sit there and chase everybody around who wants to sell. You're just going to be big. Do you really want to pay market price for a house, or what you want to get at 5 or 10% below? You already know it costs 10 to 12% just to sell a piece of real estate. They are not liquid. It ain't like the stock market. So you have to get that discount just to cover the costs. That means you didn't make any money. Now you can come back and make money on appreciation, but there's no guarantee to that. So we have to understand that. Remember, always avoid sellers that want to sell their house. You can wait them out and put them in your follow-up till they turn into someone that needs to sell their house. The want ones, they will go through hundreds, if not thousands of an offer, because they're stubborn, they're thick-headed, and they have their mind made up in their mind. And no matter what you say or I say, we're not going to change it. So why waste 50 or 100 hours trying to convince those people? That's why I don't do Facebook marketing. It's just a waste. Like every now and then you can get one, but the average nurturing time for a real estate agent on a Facebook lead is 12 to 18 months. That's to sell it for retail. Imagine how long you're going to have to wait for them to sell it for a wholesale price. It's going to have to be a real mess. Does it happen? It does. But do I endorse it? No, I think it's just a waste. I think there's better avenues. That's just my opinion. I've already done the data. I've already done over a year of it. And that was in a much, much better market than we are now. And I still couldn't make it work. I couldn't get an ROI, meaning the amount of ad spend I did on Facebook and what I got return on the profit on the deals, it just didn't make financial sense. It was close to break even. Maybe a little, but like, really, are you getting ahead doing like making 10, 15%? That's a joke in this business. Nobody got into wholesaling to make those kind of numbers. Avoid sellers that want to sell and focus on ones that need to sell. So we have to understand that. So let's keep moving. We're going to get much more granular on this, and we'll do it. By the way, guys, freewholesaling.com, all this information's in there. We talked about seller objections. We talked about setting your wholesale compass. We talked about getting clarity on what a true motivated seller is. All this is in there. I'm skimming it over so I can give you how to jumpstart this and get into wholesaling and get it going. So let's go to the next part. Now let's shift a little bit gears here. This is where a lot of you guys get susceptible in the wholesaling. Let me just tell you, you are a mark as a new wholesaler. Not my words. Go to these coaching conferences all around the country. They tell you, like, get them in your funnel and just sell them everything. They're more interested in selling you the courses and the ideas and the theory. They tell you they care about you, but like, seriously, if you have a full-time coaching business and you have a mentor that's teaching you how to drive sales, and you have someone that closes everybody on the phone, and like, I don't completely disagree with it, but I feel obligated to kind of tell you what you're going to walk in the wholesaling. And here's what's going to happen, guys. Um, you are going to be pitched so many shortcuts around wholesaling. It's going to sound super sexy. Go, oh my God, Rick, I found out how I can get the 5 deals. I only got 1. But somebody presented me a program that says, why waste your time with wholesalers when you could just pay people what they want for their house and make a ton of money? Really? Sign me up. I'll take 10 of them. Like, do you understand? Wholesalers are some of the best marketers in the entire world. It is your number one skill set. And a lot of times they'll churn it and use it against you. I don't blame them, but I don't agree with the system. I think it's ridiculous. Guys, listen to me. It's a complete trap. Do you really think there's a shortcut in wholesaling? Just do this. Then you don't have to deal with all the other wholesalers. Well, great. You're probably not going to make any money. That's what they won't tell you. You're going to buy a lot of courses. And listen, I love creative financing. I just don't, I think you should master wholesaling before you address creative financing, or use your wholesaling to find creative financing deals. I meet so many people that go, I just skipped wholesaling and do creative financing. I go, how many deals you did? I did 36. Awesome. How much money you made? I don't really know. I got to go to work. Wait, what do you mean you got to go to work? Same thing. The only KPI for beginner creative finance is like, how many contracts did you get? And sometimes those contracts don't always work out, as I've told you some of my previous stories. Now, am I the greatest creative financing? No, there's better people than me, and I fully like succumb to them. But do I do creative financing? Yes, mostly in probates. I've already told you why. Here's a little secret, guys. You should do probates. And if you ever have a creative financing itch, probate is the sector that you can yield the most amount of money in the quickest. Why? Because when people pass away, nobody objects to taking over the mortgage. In fact, they don't care 9 times out of 10. And they'll usually leave money in it for you, and you can make a ton of money with it. And so if you're going to go creative financing, here's my little tip. Focus on probates, because when someone's passed away and you decide maybe you take over the mortgage and do a subject to, as long as you don't assign it, which I'm not a big fan of because most of you don't understand the inherent risk, and you don't know how to work with escrow companies to make sure the end investor makes sure they pays that mortgage. The biggest problem you have when taking over someone's mortgage, if someone doesn't pay the mortgage. Well, what happens if the person's deceased and say you sell it on a wraparound or something like that, and someone doesn't pay the mortgage, or say you decide not to pay the mortgage? What's the consequence? The bank's going to foreclose on it, and everyone's going to get wiped out. They're not going to listen. Like, dead people don't object. I know that's a terrible statement, but it's the truth. And I'm giving you the path of least resistance for creative financing, and I'm the only one that ever talks about it out loud. Now, with a regular seller, if there's no money in the deal and they're upside down, do you really want to take over that mortgage? Like, where is the win? Do you really know how to leverage that property to make it work? On average, my creative financing deals take about 5 years before I harvest the profit from it. Why? You have to be patient. If you want to get upside appreciation and have the depreciation so you can write it off and wipe it down, and there's a lot of legalities in between there that I would have to take an entire day to run you through, is if you don't know what you're getting into it, God forbid, do not get into it. But for God's sakes, do you think creative financing or doing novations, or what's the other one I saw? You doing specialty contracts, or you doing land trusts, you really think that shortcut's going to make you money? It's not. In fact, you're going to come back to wholesaling because it's the only one that actually pays you. Now, is it easy? Yes. Is it hard? Absolutely. I don't hide it from anyone. You're going to have to bust your ass to do this business. But please stop going, like, novations I've given to wholesaling a black eye. I'm not saying novations don't work. Most of you have no idea the documents you're signing, and you have no idea how our court system works. And when you upset that seller and you do a POA and you put a bogus lien on their property, hold on, because you are going to get the biggest lawsuit of your life. Did you know most novations have more than a 55% failure ratio. Depends on what state you're in. It's so bad. And people are now calling it wholesaling. And honestly, it has nothing to do with wholesaling. Think about this. You have to write a fake contract up front, and it's 100% fake because you never plan on closing for that price. You're just inducing the seller. And then you're going to pair up with a distressed homeowner. And then say you offer them 150 grand for the house. And then you find a cash buyer, you find a buyer that will go get financing. And then you're going to tell them, hey, you pay 250. Here's the best part is you got to take that contract out and void it, slide the new contract in, stick it in front of your seller's face, which is going to that's like pushing your dog into like when they pee on the floor. And more than half of them go like, you're going to make 100 grand. That's not fair. No. You committed to 150. I know, but like you need their consent to sign it. And a lot of you go, well, I did a power of attorney. Title companies are not buying that crap anymore. And by the way, do you think you're committing mortgage fraud by not telling the bank of the original contract? I know it's legal to pull it out, but like I promise you, the language is going to come out where if you guys do that, you're going to have to sign an affidavit up front on the first contract. Guys, novations they're cute, but they have their time and place. The problem is we're putting it in the newbie's hands. We're telling them it's a shortcut to wholesaling. I'm not saying you can't make money with it, but if you're going to write your entire business plan on this, just go get a good lawyer now because you're going to need it. Because when you hurt a seller and you don't unwind your power of attorney, which there's a reason the word attorney's in it, and you don't unwind that lien or whatever you recorded on public document, you're going to be sued for defamation of title. If you don't believe me, go count all the lawsuits. I mean, just in my state, it's absolutely nuts. And I just want you to understand, if I thought novation solved the problem, that's great. But the problem is we're basically masquerading. We're brokering real estate without a license. It is the most apparent, broad abuse of it. So just so you know, when you do a power of attorney, you'll be so scrutinized at a title company, unless you have a special title company. My title companies, they will not take a power of attorney unless you can show the direct link to the family. Either you're doing legal counsel and you're a licensed lawyer, or you're a family member overseeing them. But a complete stranger that they have no relationship other than this piece of real estate, you're going to have a tough sell that you can make decisions for them. I know a limited power of attorney in a hot world. I'm just telling you, the title companies are onto us and we don't want to do those anymore. And you have to understand that. So understand this, there's no shortcuts. There's no secrets in wholesaling. Anybody tells you there's a shortcut or there's a secret, guarantee a course is coming out. I'm going to show you the secret. Really, you're so good. Like, think about this. It's secret, guys. You know, wholesaling has been around over 250 years. The only secret are like these new technologies or some new technologies they get out. You guys saw how people did the seminars. I'm going to show you how to load data. All of those people are struggling horribly because they don't understand the fundamentals of wholesaling, because they became speculators from 2013 to 2021, maybe 2022, and they're lost in this world. Wholesaling is actual real work. You got to market. If you think you can just pick up 50,000 pieces of data and find 20 winners in there, God bless you. It's not going to be that easy. So anyone who pitches you a shortcut or a secret, I just gave you the code. Don't you like when you can find out how people are actually, you can find the truth behind it? I'm giving the whole, this is like the wholesale translation video. So keep in mind, guys, we have to start with that first deal. Some of you guys are already thinking 30, 40 deals. Some of you guys are figuring out how to scale up your operation. Dude, get the first one done. Like, period. I remember when I was wrestling, I remember my coach saying, he's like, Ginn, are you ever going to score a point? I got my ass kicked my first year. Pardon my language. I got destroyed. And he's like, when you want a point, you'll go get a point. And when you get tired of getting tossed around, thrown, have arm drags, being cradled, having people just destroy you, you're going to get pissed off and you're going to start training harder. And that's what I did. And that's what you guys need to know right now. You've got to push. You have got to push. You can't just take what's going on here. It just drives me nuts. I don't know how else to tell you this. So Start with the first deal and do everything in your power. Take all your resources, all your resourcefulness, and go to town and show me you'll work it. The lip talking stops here. You have got to apply yourself. I'm If I could reach to that screen, I would pull one of you through and just I would drag you out and we go knock on 100 doors. Dude, that would cure most of you. That's what I did. I was horrified. Like so bad. I just got over it. I just took my worst fear and I tackled it. And you know what? I lived. And by the way, I got spit on. I got chased by dogs. I'm not asking you guys to do that anymore. There's better ways to do it, but you're still going to have to work to do it. Now, here's the question going forward on this live is we've got to find out how to build to get the 5 deals. But how, Rick? Start with 1. For God's sakes, go get your government list and go to work. Find someone, go to your RIA meetings, do whatever you want to do. Because the biggest thing is you got to show me that you really want to make wholesaling work. Everybody wants to try it, right? Everybody's a trier in wholesaling. I don't work with triers. I find most of them are going to, I'm going to try wholesaling. Really? You're going to try it? Let me tell you, jump in the pool with nobody around and try to swim with no experience. It's going to suck. If you truly want to swim and it's your passion, you'll figure out how to do it. You're going to suck in a little bit of water. Hopefully you won't drown. You'll have someone supervise you, but like you have to figure this out. I remember as a kid, this is a brutal story. I'm just going to share it. So we used to have a boxer when I was a kid, and boxers are not known good swimmers. And we always feared the dog was going to fall in. Now, I was a really young kid. I was maybe 7, 8 years old. I remember my dog picking up the dog. He was like 70 pounds. He just picked him up. Dog's going crazy, got near the pool like a cat. My dad just threw him in the deep end. And I watched the dog sink all the way to the bottom. Now, my father ain't getting any Father of the Year award, okay? You kind of all know it if you guys know me. But he let the dog sink down there. I thought the dog was going to die. Like I was in shock, horrified as a kid. But that dog just worked his way up. And he took that huge gasp of breath. And if you ever saw boxers, they paddle on the top. Like they're terrible, terrible swimmers. I've had labs that are phenomenal swimmers. But what I'm trying to tell you is like, I got to throw your butt in the deep end. Here's the deal. You're not going to drown. My dad was pretty cruel with that stuff. Like we all have to get better with each generation. So I'm not telling you to go drown a dog. I love dogs. That's my favorite thing, but you're going to have to jump in the deep end and do some work here. A lot of you guys are just like piddling your feet on the shallow end. Some of you got like these sloping beach pools. Man, we're getting lazy, man. We got to straighten this up. We have to do this. So I got to get moving here. I got a lot to get through. So here's the next statement that is really going to smack you in the mouth. And anybody who wants to swim can learn to swim. There's enough pools around the entire world if you want to. Not all of us have a pool and stuff like that. I'm not judging, but I'm just telling you, sometimes you guys throw your butt in the water and see if you can actually come up and swim. And that's what deal 1 does, number 1. Now, how do we get to 5? Here's where it gets really, really full. Number 1, the first thing you have to do when you're building to get to 5 is you just got to lose your emotions. Some of you guys are the most emotional wholesalers I've ever met in my life. Oh, Rick, oh my God, it was so horrifying. You've been conditioned your entire life to involve your emotions in every decision you make. And I'm just telling you, it's wrong. Wholesaling, as much as it doesn't discriminate against your age, your income, your race, your ethnicity, where you came from, if you're a foreigner, if you're local, it doesn't care. And God knows we all love it for that. Doesn't even care if you have a criminal background. Just do the right thing. Don't do it going forward. Not giving you a pass on that. But as easy it is to let you in, it will eat you people up that just use your emotion to make every decision. Remember, we trigger our sellers' emotions to get a reaction, and we respond to a reaction with a response, which is an educated, well thought out reaction. That's all it is. So if 2 people react, you got to fight. If one reacts and one responds, one's trying to help the other one solve their problem. That's all you do as a wholesaler. So you have to remove your emotions no matter how you. Now, it doesn't mean you become a robot, but go in your home, go do a little cry, Shut the door. I already told you to get your Kleenex out because this is just going to get rougher from this point on. And then we fix it and we move on. That's what we do as wholesalers. I've had plenty of tears shed as a wholesaler. I'm not any exception, but I'm telling you, you cannot make emotional decisions in wholesaling. It doesn't care. And if you do, you won't last. And if you're going to go online and like throw an emotional outburst, it's even worse, in my opinion. I know you guys don't do that. I'm just telling you, you've got to stop. If you're making an emotional decisions, it's not going to work out. Our emotions are there for, it's wired in every human being. And those that can manage their emotions and turn them into responses will dominate all businesses. It is no exception in wholesaling. I go to so many businesses. I'm like, why are you so emotional with the response? Like, I don't know a damn thing about your business. I'm just asking if you can do this and you're getting all upset. I don't want to work with people like that, and they're going to do the same to you. So let me ask you this. Now I've got some really, really serious questions because this is going to get, oh boy. Well, let's see before I put that up. Okay, let's just go with it. Ready? If you jump into wholesaling, what's it going to cost you? And most of you never evaluate this decision. And I'm here to tell you, I'm going to open your world up right now. So let me ask you, you guys can put in the comments, what's wholesaling really going to cost you? I mean, if you go all in, you people dipping your toes in, I'm not interested. Go to freewholesaling.com, give it a try, and then go do a paid course, lose 5 or 10 grand, and then come back and let me know when you're serious. Because the money's not going to make you do this business. As much as I think there's so many bad courses out there, I don't even blame them. The fact of the matter is, like, you have this unrealistic expectation. You have to understand it. So we have to understand. So Mark says time. Time is your most valuable resource. Don't ever underestimate it. So who you give your time up? Chris says time, effort. That's it. I'm here to tell you that's just a small part of the expense. And let me tell you why. What's wholesaling going to cost you? I'm going to shock you on this one, man. Like, you ready? And I didn't believe this. I fought this forever. And I swear to you, this is 100% the truth. And some of you guys are going to look at it one way. Some of you are going to look at the other. And now we're going to get in very, very tougher conversations going forward. It's going to cost you everything. Ouch. Crap. What's that mean, Rick? You kidding me? It's going to cost me everything. Why would I do it? Well, let's evaluate it. If you're currently coming out of a job, or you're coming out of school, or you're doing something that really doesn't excite you or doesn't serve you in your interest. Now, I'm natural fit for wholesaling because I like talking to people and I enjoy solving people problems. The real estate, I could give 2 craps about. So if you're one of these people that does like A&E flip shows and you love that crap, you're probably a fix and flipper and you need to stay over there. A wholesaler just likes to solve a problem, get paid for it, and do it over and over again without getting into the mess. God, I love that part. I could repeat that 1,000 times. So it's going to cost you everything. Let me ask you, what do you guys think by everything? Let me ask you, do you think your friends are going to change? Do you think your family's attitude is going to change towards you? Do you think your home's going to change? Do you think your bank account's going to change? Do you think your kids' attitudes towards you are going to change? I'm telling you, everything changes. And you got 2 ways to look on this. You can put on your glasses like, crap, I really love what I have going on. Then why are we having this discussion? Go back to it. It's right there for you. You're going to change all your friends for the better. Listen, guys, there's people who's holding you back. You ever notice when you do wholesaling, I always tell it, don't announce it to the world. Just do it until they recognize you. Don't go, I'm going to go do this wholesaling. It's the same person goes, I'm going on a diet. Or my favorite is when someone goes on a diet and then a month later, I just lost 10 or 15 pounds. Yeah, but you do it every year. Like, it's not impressive. We actually have to do crap to get the recognition we need, as opposed to announcing our intentions. Intentions are a dime a dozen, guys. And I'm telling you, when I say it's going to cost you everything, I am not kidding you. My entire friend category had to change because I had people just holding me back. And the minute I started to become successful, they questioned my loyalty, telling me, you're just in it for the money. You don't understand. I had I had friends and family who now just like, what are you doing? And I learned they were questioning their own validity, not mine. I'm solid in who I'm doing. My belief, my conviction connects me. I'm telling you, this one, I tried to stay in my old self while doing wholesaling, and I'm here to tell you, you can't do it. You can't do it. It ain't going to happen. And if it scares the crap out of you, great, because that's what happens when you become successful in wholesaling. Do you really think you can keep your old mentality and be successful in wholesaling? It's the same mentality that kept you back. So why on earth do you think it's going to be any different in wholesaling? And I'm here to tell you, if you don't understand, let me give you an example. When I was a younger man, I was so passionate about sports. Now, I played sports in high school. I was a decent athlete, nothing, no superstar. My son was a lot better than I am. But after that, when I got into college and I got into my career, is I just like I lived for my sports teams: Dolphins, Hurricanes, Miami Heat. You call it. And I remember when we win a champion, like, yeah, we won the championship. And I look at it now, like, how stupid was I? Now I still celebrate my teams. I don't have any more superstitions. I don't like hold a blanket in a certain way. I used to do this crap. You guys know what I'm talking about. Don't be a professional sports fan because your kids are watching you. For God's sakes, you're just a cheerleader. Have fun with it. Enjoy hanging out with friends and family, but don't think you won that championship. Go win the wholesale championship trophy and lead by example and show people what you can do. But really, like, our team won the national championship. Our team won the Super Bowl. Really, what did you do? Oh, I go to work and I come home and I drink beer and I watch Netflix. Boy, that's amazing. I don't relate with that type of person. So when I say wholesaling is going to cost you everything, I promise you're going to lose all that stuff. And once you get freedom of your time, you work on becoming financially free. It's a 2-year journey. And then you work on yourself. You work on your relationships with your family. You work on your mind. You work on your body. You understand you only get one vehicle God gives you, and you have to make it the best vehicle humanly possibly. Because if you're sick, you can't wholesale. If you're so overweight, you can't drive around a car and go on appointments. It's just the truth, guys. I like wholesaling is a key that just opens up so many other doors. I can't even express to you with it, but I got to get you started. I got you to get that first deal and get you through the first 5 deals. But if you cannot accept the statement that you're going to have to give up everything to make it work, Finn. So listen, if your wife's on board with what you're doing, she comes along with you. If she's not supporting you, you got to make decisions. I'm not here to split up anybody, but like it's the goddamn truth. And I'm tired of people. If you're constantly trying to appease family members because, oh my God, you're doing that wholesaling thing. Isn't it illegal? I think it's banned in multiple states. I saw a video of a guy saying it's illegal and it's banned. If that stops you wholesaling, go back to your old life, dude. It's not going to change. And I'm telling you, I struggled for 5 years with this. I truly struggled with my identity because I tried to keep my old personality with my new business, and like it hurt. So have you ever had a conflicting statement, like you want to be rich, but you don't want to do the work to be rich? That's what's really going on in there. And the people that supported you before feel very vulnerable when you step up and you're making 10 times what they do, if not 20, 30 times. And so I use wholesaling as a vehicle. And I'm going to be honest, a lot of people tell you wholesaling is a fancy job. It's an incredible job. It is work. I don't even deny it, but you get paid for it. Creative financing, you got to sit on the sideline 5 years and see if your bet panned out. That's how it works. You get better with it over time, but you have to make money. So let me give an example. I took my cash I made from wholesaling and I bought great deals. I cherry picked them. I then churned a commercial. I did several apartments, which since I've cashed out most, still down to one. And then I invested in stock markets, all other types of things. As a rookie novice, I'm not an expert. That's what I'm going to teach you. But like in the last 2 days, I've made 6-figure gains. while I'm sitting here doing my wholesaling and talking to you. Why? Because I took years and I built it up. Started with $1,000, got up to 10,000, 10 went to 20, 20 went to 50, 50 went to 100, so on, millions. And guys, when you can put millions of an asset to work and grow it, that's how you become wildly rich in this world. You can use wholesaling as the leverage, but you got to get the 5 deals. 5 deals is where I know people are brutally serious about wholesaling. You can't get the 5 deals. I'm just telling you the truth. It's a marathon. If you take longer, that's fine. I'm okay with that. This is not, we see sprinters every day in this business. We don't want to do it. Next, please stop learning and go wholesaling. God, let me repeat this again. Stop learning and go wholesaling. Go over to freewholesaling.com. I'll put it up again just so nobody accuses me of not doing it. Right there on the bottom for you. Go there and get started. Take the education. How long should I be in freewholesaling.com? Dude, 7-10 days. That's it at max. And I'm being generous. You got to get to the marketing and get it going because it's going to take 30, 45, 60 days, depending on your velocity in your market, to get that marketing up and going. So you guys were all taught in a school system where you wait like 16 years to do formal education, then to go out and get a job after you get ridiculous loans. That's right. Your United States government encourages you to get loans and backs it up for something that you're going to get a piece of paper. And God forbid, if you get an MBA or a marketing degree, you're average. You're not spectacular. And then some of you guys paying 6 figures for college, I got to smack you over the head because it makes no sense. And it makes no sense for your parents to drop this kind of money on it. I hope people start to wake up to college because college served me nothing. I wasted 5 years of my life in it, and it got me a corporate job, which enslaved me. If I started wholesaling 10 years before, I had the guts, like watching a video like this. Oh my, I don't even know what would happen. But you know what? I wasn't probably ready for it, and that's the truth. So we have to stop learning wholesaling. We have to go do it. But your entire life, you've been taught the opposite way. Here's a little secret, guys. You're going to fail miserably probably in your first 3 months. That is the learning curve. But you've been taught your entire life in your school system that failure is what? It's horrible. You get an F. Oh my God, you get an F. Guess what? In business, go get an F. You're going to get a lesson. And that lesson is going to cultivate and thrive you into being the wholesaler you are today. I've never met anybody that's an entrepreneur that has just hit it out of the park on every deal. We've all had failures. I've had some abysmal failures, 6-figure failures. I've never met one investor that's just hit it out of the park every time. So why do you think you're just, I don't want to make a mistake. I don't want to do this. Oh my God. This is where you've been programmed your entire life. And I hate to tell you, you've been lied to. Life actually works the opposite. Those who are willing to put their butt out there and take risks and accept failures, that's how you learn your lesson and you move forward. Why do you think we're all born as babies with tiny little brains? We don't even know how to walk. We don't know how to eat. Everything's a lesson in life. So I don't care if you're you're in your teens, your 20s, 30s, 40s, or you're in your 50s like me. Everything's a lesson. My kids are adult. You guys know my son. He's a product of stuff I learned, everything I hated from my father or my parents. And wholesaling was the trigger that allowed me to spend more time with my son, to develop him and give him the guidance to truly become the person I knew he could become. Same thing with my daughter. She's just not on the air. And I'm telling you, this is stuff wholesaling most people won't share with you. How many other people actually wholesale with their kids? Like go online and do it. Like everybody talks about it. There are some that do it. And I think it's just amazing. There's nothing I'd rather not do than spend time with my family. And if they can enjoy it and we can build an empire together, God bless. My son brings skill sets that very few people have. And you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. He could have gone and been one of the baddest ass lawyers on planet Earth. But he chose to do this business. Why? Because he gets freedom and he has no limitations on income. And that's our favorite part about wholesaling. And that's why I say, so you got to go out and you got to go out and you got to wholesale. Like there's no other word for it. Stop spending all your times. So here's the next one. Stop creating conditional statements. If this happens, then I'll start wholesaling. If this, then that. It's like the old IFTT program. If this, then that. We used to use that in wholesaling. Some people still do, but it's called AI now. I'm going to start eating better January 1. Really? Do it now. Like, it's a complete cop out. Those of you that are waiting to make phone calls or do anything like that today, it's a complete cop out and you know it. If you have a conditional statement, you're doomed. It's not going to work. I call it the if this, then that. If you have a condition for everything in your life, I don't even want to look at you. I don't want to work with you. It drives me nuts. So, does everybody understand that? Okay. Let's keep moving forward because now we're really going to start pushing. Oh boy. This one. So I can't take credit for this statement. To be honest, this comes from the school of Tony Robbins. As you guys know, I'm a big proponent of Tony Robbins. I think the man gets in people's heads and teaches you that life is unlimited possibilities. And the only reason you think they're limited is because the way you were brought up. So if you come from a family like that, right? Hey, right here, buddy, like go get a good job, do that. No entrepreneurs in my family, zero. I'm the one who broke the cycle, and Zach is the byproduct of me. But he has no limitations. He understands he can push anything as hard as he wants. He doesn't have a boss. He doesn't do that. I'm his partner, and we would just work well together because we both speak wholesaling and we love it. But I'm here to tell you, you got to take the Tony Robbins story. Everything up to this point in life, and this is where we're going to get the 5 deals, okay? Freewholesaling.com. I have all the instructions in there. You guys, just your past is not your future. And a lot of you are hung up the way you were raised with your parents, your siblings. You were poor. I'm super rich. I don't know what to do. Everyone's got a story. Everybody needs growth and needs to be challenged. If not, you can't exist in this world. We need certainty. We need uncertainty. Go to a Tony Robbins and online. He's an amazing man. He's changed my projection on how I think, and I've always followed him. And this is basically what he says. Stop telling your story and rewrite it. Stop telling yourself the same old story. It's just a story. You ever read a storybook? It's just a story. You could rewrite it anytime. Right now is your pivotal moment. Who wants to rewrite where they want to be in life? Now, I am talking about wholesaling to give you the spark, but you can do this in any capacity in your life. You got a crappy relationship with your wife? Reset. Sit down and have honest communication and find out how to get that spark back. Period. And it's a tough conversation. Some people stay married just to avoid being divorced. You ever know people like that? And some people just use divorce as an excuse with anything. It's not easy. Listen, everything's hard in life. Just pick which hard you want. Do you want to sit on the couch, eat bonbons, and have it taste good? And eventually become so fat you can't do anything and you're wildly miserable and you have to make a radical decision or die. They're both hard. Which one do you want to go? You want to go to the gym or you want to go to fat camp? It's just the truth. Stop telling yourself the story and rewrite it. And here's how you do it. You ready? Divorce the story and marry the truth. This is Tony Robbins. Don't say, oh, Rick's misquoting. It's not mine. But my God, this one rings so true to me. This is the one I've gone forward with. And this is my foundation of freewholesaling.com. My story sucks. Like before I met wholesaling, it's embarrassing. And I imposed these limitations on myself because I just thought it was all I could be. I thought if I could ever make $100,000, it would be mind boggling. And now I do $100,000 on one deal. I've done $100,000 in just an hour. And like money is not a limitation to me anymore. It's like, I just don't understand. I've been broke. I was broke most of my life, just so you know. I decided to make pivotal changes 33. I got introduced to wholesaling by accident and I ran with it. It was the perfect time. If I started in my 20s, I don't know, I probably would have got distracted. You guys know I have ADHD. I got some problems with it. And I've learned how to cope with it. Why? Because I got time and I have people that help me out. My son's one of them. I get distracted. Like, it's not that easy for me to shoot a video. Like, and those of you guys thinking like, oh my God, like anybody ever try to shoot a video themselves to like, oh my God, like It's so critical. I don't care anymore. Like, I just give you the truth. That way I don't have to worry about what anybody, if you don't agree with my philosophy and stuff, I don't care. You're not my people. I'm okay with it. Turn the TV off and move on. But I'm telling you, like, I'm so passionate with what I do. I love this business more than anything. And I want you guys to understand you can you can rewrite your story anytime you want, but you have to make the decision. But you're gonna have to deal with the truth. Now, I'm gonna hit you with an ugly one right here. You ready? This one's gonna hurt. You ready? Stop lying to yourself. You're only hurting you. It's so true. If you cannot recognize your problem and you're struggling in wholesaling and you can't be brutally honest and all you want to do is blame everybody else, I can't help you. If you're big boned and you won't admit you're a little overweight, you can't fix it. If you can't recognize the problem, you can't fix it. Most people in the United States, I can only speak in the United States. I've traveled all over the world, but this is predominantly the United States. We just can't tell ourselves the truth. If you can't tell yourself the truth, you can't help out your family. You can't grow a wholesaling business. You'll never get the 5 deals. I promise you. Because if you have to seek the truth from a wholesaler and you can't give the truth yourself, how do you expect to make it in a wholesale business? And it's just the God honest truth. So here's what we're going to do right now. I'm going to share my screen. And although this is a little bit limited, let me see if I can get it up there. And if you read on the screen right there, I just put up David Goggins because I absolutely love this man. And it says right there, everybody comes to a point in their life when they just want to quit. Brutally true. But it's what you do at that moment that determines who you are. So I want you to understand, I'm not David Goggins, and I don't subscribe to everything David Goggins does. I think he has an amazing mindset. And go out. He's got a couple books out. Get his, I think I have it here. David. I think I keep that one in my office. So my ADHD, when I fall in love with a book, I read it 10 times. And so a lot of people tell you got to read X amount of pages a day. Dude, you can read. I want you to understand. I want you to live it, breathe it, embrace it. If a book fires you up or a video fires you up and you play it on an endless loop, I don't know about you, but I work out 5-6 days a week. It's part of my ADHD. It's just who I am. And I enjoy it. It makes me feel good. I could do that, or I could go to a bar. I could do other things. I don't drink. I don't do anything else. And so I have to have releases. And sometimes I get into like songs and I just can't get it out of my head. And it fires me up. I want you to, maybe you guys are going to do that with this video. I'm fine with that. Get a David Goggins book, Can't Hurt Me. I believe that's the one. And his story is so deep, so crazy, so out left field. I'm like, if David can get through that, the man had to lose 100 pounds in 30 days. Do you know what kind of task that takes? The book is so inspiring, so jaw-dropping. I don't want you guys to do wholesaling 24/7, but I want you to take a David Goggins attitude. If you've never heard of him, just go on YouTube, Google him up. He's just about mindset. Set your mind and don't let anybody else change it. That is how you become successful in wholesaling. And that's what you have to understand when it comes to wholesaling. If you will take that type of mindset, you can do anything you want in your entire life. But if you don't, the man broke the pull-up record. He went through Navy SEALs and he kept failing at the very end for like crazy injuries, like crazy stuff. And the stories, like, I had to go, man, is this stuff true? This is crazy. And I'm like, if one human being can get through this, the hell's my excuse? Now, I was well on my way in the wholesaling when I got David Goggins' book, but dude, it helped me pump another gear that I didn't even know I had. And I'm just telling you, you guys have it. You just need to deep down and get it. And how do I get it? It's simple, guys. It's simple. It's simple. Let me put it up here. I lost my train of thought. I already said, stop lying to yourself. You got a choice. You can have 1 million excuses, or you can own $1 million. You can't do both. And if you understand that, some of you guys that whine and cry, I don't have enough cheese for you, stop it. It's immature And whining you're just procrastinating and you're being busy and you're not solving anything. Turn whining into finding solutions. And you've got to put the omen on your back, not other people's back. And if you work on a solution, you work hard enough, you'll have people help you out. But if you want everyone else, you want Rick to solve it, you want Zach to solve it, you want the coaching community to solve it for you, they're just going to take your money because the obligation is always on you. It's never on them. This is why we have freewholesaling.com. This is why I believe in it so much. This is why I show you the course without you ever giving me a dime. There's never a paywall. In return, I develop your trust. I build rapport with you. The same techniques I teach in wholesaling. Why would I teach you any other different? And then most people who wind up buying a course, they feel like they're getting more. Okay, that's fine. Spend $3-5 grand. I almost guarantee you're going to come back to me. It's the truth. And the bottom line is, guys, just please, for God's sakes, stop whining and start winning in wholesaling. If you whine, you have zero shot. You're just wasting time. There's only 24 hours in a day. If you spend 2 hours whining a day, you spend 4 hours on Netflix, you spend an hour on the news. I already know what your day's set. Me and Zach have been doing a little thing with you. Like as soon as somebody whines, I ask them to turn their phone around and show their screen time. Why? It's all I need to know about you. You spend 4 hours on TikTok, don't even bother wholesaling. You have zero shot to get it. It's never, ever going to work. And if you understand that, you get it. So, guys, I put it on the bottom here, freewholesaling.com. Do me a favor. If you enjoyed today's content, do me a favor. Smash that like button. If you want to learn how to get to that first deal, 5 deals, go to freewholesaling.com. I'll give you every piece of detail you want to know about it. And for God's sakes, make sure you subscribe to this channel. It is the best compliment you can give me. I hope I've changed somebody's life. I hope I've kind of reset your wholesaling compass. I hope you have got completely fired up about wholesaling because, God, this is the greatest business. I am so biased. I know it. I love this business. Does anybody love wholesaling more than me and Zach? I already know the answer to that. I'm so passionate. It shows who the hell sits in this thing for 23 years and still talks about it like it is the greatest discovery in their life. That's me. I love this stuff. Guys, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Love you guys. We'll be back on Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern. Zach will be here, and we'll see you then, man, guys. Go out there and get it.